Hello, this is Donna Lewis with the Clark County Park District again, and today we're going to talk about butterflies. This is our Reading in Nature program, or otherwise known as CROW, Children Respecting Ohio's Wildlife. So this is also in collaboration with the New Carlisle Library. So some of you will be watching it from our YouTube page, some of you will be watching it from New Carlisle's Facebook page or the Clark County Park District's Facebook page. So we always start with a book. We talk about the species that we're talking about, and then I direct you to an activity or a craft that you can do. And actually tomorrow, Thursday, what is that, the 6th, Bailey, my intern, will be doing a butterfly craft. It will air at 3 o'clock on our Facebook page. So that's a great craft to do, but I am going to ask you to do an activity at the end of this. So first I'm going to read a book, and I'm hoping nobody calls me. This is on my phone, and I tried to do this program once already today and got a phone call. So the book today is Monarch and Milkweed. It is written by Helen Frost and Leonid Gore. In a patch of dirt behind an old red barn, milkweed stretches into warm spring air. Its roots reach deep and wide. Its stem points to the sky. So there's our milkweed plant. And a lot of people think it's just a weed, but it's pretty important. Monarch spreads her wings and rides the wind past white and yellow daisies across a creek, heading north. So she is heading north from Mexico. Monarchs actually migrate from Mexico to North America and back again. Milkweed's new leaves push out, then purple flowers, soft and round and fragrant. Monarch finds a dandelion, drinks its nectar, and flies on. She stops again, rests and drinks, and flies again. So here is the monarch plant, and it's blooming now, all right? And that's when it smells really, really good. And here's Monarch traveling north. And what does she find? One of the earliest bloomers, the dandelion. Monarch, or milkweed, stretches taller. 2 by 2, its leaves spread wide, sheltering long-legged spiders, black and orange beetles. Monarch lights on milkweed, drums her feet on milkweed's flower, and tastes home. So she is tasting that plant, knowing this is the plant she needs. She tastes it with her feet. So Monarch has found the milkweed plant. Milkweed's flowers fall away, green pods push out. Inside these bumpy fists, new seeds are forming. Monarch finds a mate and stays with him all afternoon, all night, into the morning. Eggs in her body grow heavy. She searches for milkweed. So Monarch now has seed pods, all right, or milkweed now has seed pods, and Monarch is now carrying eggs looking for the milkweed plant again. A breeze bends milkweed side to side. Monarch chooses its best leaf, swaying in the breeze of milkweed. She curls her body underneath the leaf and glues one pale yellow egg to its soft underside. She flies from milkweed plant to milkweed plant, stopping on each to lay one shiny egg. So now she is laying her eggs. So if you see a butterfly alight onto a plant and curl its abdomen, the back part of its body, it's usually laying eggs. And she'll lay her eggs on the underneath of the milkweed plant. This is the only plant, is the milkweed plants that she lays her eggs on. Inside Monarch's egg, a caterpillar forms, and 4 days later pushes out. Shorter than an eyelash, that is tiny. Almost invisible against the leaf's pale green. It eats the shell that held it, then moves across the leaf. It eats the leaf, it grows. And when it grows too big to fit inside its skin, it crawls right out. New skin already formed beneath the old. Yellow, black, and white, the monarch caterpillar feeds on milkweed's bitter leaves and grows. Okay, so our milkweed, our caterpillar, is starting to grow. So they eat and grow and grow and grow. 4 times the caterpillar sheds its skin, and then one evening in late summer, it weaves a sturdy pad under a milkweed leaf, hangs upside down, and shapes its body like a J. So whose name out there starts with a J? That's what the caterpillar makes, a monarch caterpillar, before it makes a chrysalis. Its feelers droop, and one last time it sheds its skin, it twists and turns and pulls its body up, transforming into a chrysalis. It hangs beneath the leaf, a shining jewel, jade green, speckled with gold. So, I had this ready earlier. So he starts out, I'm gonna put my little puppet thing back here. I had it all ready to go. And then not, when I redid the video. So, we start with our caterpillar. Okay, so we're starting with our monarch caterpillar. So this is the colors you're looking for from monarch caterpillar. He splits his skin and changes into, ta-da, a little more graceful than this. All right, changes into a chrysalis. All right, and inside he's growing into something else, right? So 12 days the monarch chrysalis shines in noontime shadows. 12 nights it waits under the moon and stars. It grows darker, gray, then black and orange as new monarch wings shine through. So this turns clear, and then you can see the black and white or the black and orange through the clearness of the chrysalis. So here he's made as J, then the chrysalis, and then see, it's kind of see-through right there, and you can see the butterfly inside. It's pretty cool. Early one morning, the chrysalis splits open. A new monarch steps out, moist wings pressed against her body. She clings to the clear case of the chrysalis as warm air dries her wings. She opens her wings, closes them, opens them wide. A light breeze lifts her and she flies. So at first when he comes out, he's kind of got wet, crumply wings, so he or she has to dry them out. And then when she's ready, she becomes a big, beautiful monarch. Milkweed's leaves, now full of holes, turn yellow. So that's about where we're at with this milkweed that I found on the ground. See the seed pods on there? The leaves are starting to yellow. One of the leaves fell off. Okay, it's pretty gross looking right now. And you can see there's a bunch of brown stuff on there. See that? That is frass, as they call caterpillar poop. Okay, so that is poop on the leaf. So now this guy, even if he wouldn't have fallen, he would be about at his end. Okay. Their edges curl and they begin to fall. Monarch flies from purple zinnia to black-eyed Susan, drinking nectar, getting ready. As the days turn cool, she turns south toward warmer air to begin her longest journey. So this plant's now kind of coming to an end, and now she's headed back down to Mexico again. She or he. Milkweed's pods are full. Its seeds are almost ready. In September sun, the pod's strong walls turn dry and brown. So then the pods turn brown. Monarch flies and rides the wind, stopping only long enough to drink sweet nectar from a field of purple asters. She follows the last flowers of summer as she flies on and on, almost 2,000 miles to Mexico. So now these are turning brown. Now she's headed down south. Milkweed's pods split open. Brown seeds lay close together on a soft white bed. October wind catches a silky tendril, opens it, and lifts the seed into the air, carrying it out and away across the river to an old white house. The kitten reaches up a paw and bats at the white fluff until it disappears. So this is how he's going to spread his seeds. So milkweed seeds are coming out and flying out and maybe land at a farmhouse or in your yard. So they travel and then plant themselves. Rain comes, snow comes, rain comes again. Sun warms the earth warms the seed, and under the dirt it opens. Roots reach down, a tip of green presses out and up toward warmth and light. Milkweed's first spring leaf unfurls. Far to the south in Mexico, Monarch rides the wind toward it, and that is the end. So as this plant emerges out of the soil, she's starting to come back up north. All right, so the cycle starts all over again. That is the end. So this is a really good book, Monarch and Milkweed. There's also some other good books. I'm going to show you some pictures from this. A Butterfly is Patient. All right. And there's also some good facts, really fun facts. The wind's getting me right now. In this book, Butterflies and Moths. All right. You can find these at the New Carlisle Library. And this is a fun book about a classroom raising some butterflies, Becoming Butterflies. This is a really cute book for younger kids. All right, so there are about 20,000 species worldwide, all right? About 725 species in North America, so United States and Canada. And then 575 of these are in our 48 states, our 48 mainland states, right? 53, so if you live in Ohio like I do, 53 of those are in Ohio. So 53 species, different kinds of butterflies in Ohio. So there's a huge variety of butterflies. And just in our Lettingham Prairie alone, off Spangler Road, we have counted at least 41 different species of butterflies. So that's pretty amazing. So what we do at our prairie is we have a volunteer that goes out every week, and he counts those butterflies for us, gets us a count, so we know what kind of species are occurring, and this goes to a big count nationwide, and then probably into a worldwide count. So it's a citizen science thing that we do at the park. So it's really fun to go out and just kind of see what butterflies are out there, but it also helps scientists know how butterflies are doing. So butterflies come, huge variety of butterflies, and not just the butterflies. So here's our butterflies. Not all of them, but this gives you an idea of just the different kinds of butterflies, okay? So not all of these would be in the United States, but look at all those different colors. It's like they're painted with a paintbrush, right? And then look at the caterpillars. And the caterpillars don't look anything like the butterfly that they become, right? And the stages that they go through is called a metamorphosis. So the life cycle of a butterfly is pretty amazing. Not only are they pretty amazing, but their life cycle. So they start as an egg. Now this is a tiger swallowtail, okay? These are also found in Ohio. Not this big, okay? So we're talking about this big with their wings out. So tiger swallowtail. So the butterfly starts as an egg, and then when that caterpillar is ready to hatch, he nibbles his way out. There he is. He's out, okay? He's coming out. So he's kind of not very attractive and probably blends in right there. And he eats that shell, okay, as his first meal. Eats that shell. And then he eats and eats and eats and grows, okay? Now, he can probably look like a piece of bird poop at this point, right? So nobody's going to eat a piece of bird poop. Then he becomes this. So these colors might signify that he might be poisonous, even if he's not. And he'll try to use those colors and his rear his head back sometimes to make himself look scary, okay? So this, I use my orange horn to scare enemies away, okay? So his colors help him look scary, and animals will think doesn't taste good, and they won't eat him, hopefully. So you can see he's not on a milkweed plant. He has a different plant, right? It looks like a parsley plant. So as he gets bigger, then he forms a chrysalis. This chrysalis is definitely different than this chrysalis, okay? So he also, he's not attached from the top. He has a piece of silk that attaches him on the side, kind of like a window washer or a climber on a cliff, okay? So very different than the monarch. They're all different and make different chrysalises. So then the tiger swallowtail comes out, his crumpled wings. As they dry, then he's ready to fly. So it takes them a little time before they're ready to fly, okay? So that's called a metamorphosis. They go through different stages, like a frog or a toad. So at the end of that, a stunning butterfly emergence doesn't look anything like the caterpillar that it started as, right? And the most infamous butterfly is the monarch. So what comes out of this? We've got our monarch butterfly emerges. This is the one that most of us know about in the States, especially around here. There's a lot of projects to save the monarch. There's Monarch Watch, and there's other things you can find online. So the monarch's pretty infamous, and one of the things about the monarch is that it travels south to Mexico at the end of the summer, and then the monarchs travel back up north at the beginning of spring. Okay, couldn't get the seasons there. So it migrates. Not all butterflies migrate. Some will hibernate. Some will migrate. So this is one of our migrators. Okay, this is the one that we know so much about. And because we want to protect because we've done things to protect the monarch and its habitat, it's helped save tons of other butterflies in Ohio and around the world. So, every species of butterfly also has certain plants that they feed on. So you saw that the monarch uses the milkweed, okay, as its host plant, this milkweed, and you'll see them outside now. They're starting to get the yellow and brown leaves now. And then this guy, this tiger swallowtail, feeds on a different plant. So it just depends on the butterfly, all right? So, butterfly facts. So, what about butterflies versus moths? Okay, what's the difference? So, moths are smaller and more thick-bodied. They fly at night, so they have to be able to absorb some of that heat during the day and keep it overnight as they fly around. And they have feathery antennae. Okay, so the butterflies are usually slimmer. They tend to be more slender. Larger. A lot of times there are some big moths out there though, like the Cecropia moth, and they have long, thin antennae with knobs at the end. All right, and well, that didn't show this. Amazing thing about butterflies too, if you can see, they have a curled tongue to eat their food to get that nectar. Okay, so the largest butterfly is called the Queen Alexandra birdwing from New Guinea. 11 inches across. That's pretty big. That's almost a foot. Okay, so almost the size of your foot. So if you look at your shoe, okay, that's a big butterfly. All right, if it's a foot across, wow. Okay, so that's a large butterfly. So butterflies can fly up to 30 miles an hour. Now, that seems slow to us more in the car. Dads never want to drive 30 miles an hour, right? Neither do I. So that's pretty fast for a butterfly. The best temperature for butterflies is when it's really hot. Like, I don't like the heat a lot, okay? This is a beautiful day for me today, August 5th. Beautiful day. But the best temperature for butterflies is like 86 degrees Fahrenheit. They love it really hot. Now, well, like I talked about earlier, butterflies make a chrysalis, right? And moths make a cocoon. So they do make something a little bit different, but they develop the same sort of way. The antenna on the butterfly, okay, these little things here, all right, on the end of their body, on their head, are used for smelling. So that's how they smell their way around, all right? And what do they taste with? Their feet. They taste with their feet, okay? So that would be weird, right? Putting your feet on your food, strange. Well, butterflies actually taste with their feet. So they know that's the plant they feed on, or that's the plant that they need to lay their eggs on. And most have very good vision and can see, and if you look at a butterfly, it's got these enormous eyes for its head size. The close-up shot of a butterfly face is not as attractive as the rest of them, okay? So these giant eyes, and they can see up to 9 feet away. So it's pretty amazing. So why are butterflies important? Well, for one thing, a lot of people love to watch butterflies because they're so pretty. Not just the monarch, but the tiger swallowtail. We have pearl crescents and common buckeyes, the viceroy, which looks like the monarch. All beautiful butterflies. So people love to watch them. People travel to see butterflies. They plant things in their yards for butterflies. But also, they're very important because they pollinate. So as they travel from flower to flower, okay, as they're traveling and they get this flower and they go to that flower and they go to that flower, the butterflies drink nectar from the flower, and the pollen will stick on their legs, and they transfer that pollen to different plants as they are feeding. All right, so they are pollinating and helping to produce more flowers, plants, vegetables. Okay, so they're one of the most important species to give us more fruits and veggies, trees, things like that. They're one of those really important species because they pollinate. You know, bats in other parts of the world are pollinators. Ants, wasps, hummingbirds are pollinators. So not just the butterfly, but it is very, very important. Now, what can you do to help a butterfly? You might be 6 years old. You might be 60 years old, okay? What can you do? Plant native flowers, or get mom and dad to get some native flowers to plant, or some seeds to sprinkle that are native. Native flowers, trees, and other plants. Put out a water source. So a bird bath is great for birds, but sometimes you need to put little rocks in there so butterflies can land on the rocks. and they can eat too. I'll find butterflies in my chicken water because I have a rock in there, and they will land on the rock and drink the water. So I give water for my chickens. I also give water for the butterflies and the birds. So I have rocks in there so nobody drowns and so that everybody can get a drink. And refrain from, or tell mom and dad not to treat their yards with pesticides and herbicides, because these will not only kill the things they don't want, but they will also kill our butterflies and our other good insects that we want around. And you don't want to disturb the caterpillars or butterflies when they're out there eating. Okay, so it's very important just to watch them and observe them. All right, and if you're interested in raising butterflies, make sure you look up all the information to do that, and only native butterflies, and then you can let them go as soon as they emerge. That's very important, to let them go so they can continue on and lay more eggs and make more butterflies. Okay, so what activity can you do? So I want you to go out in your yard and just count and see how many different butterflies you can find, and see if you can draw a picture of some of these butterflies. So get just a notebook that you may have already, or that mom or dad has, or grandma or grandpa, and go outside and try to draw some of the butterflies, or write down some notes about the butterflies, and see how many different species of butterflies you can find in your backyard or your park or somewhere else that you go, okay, that you go outside and play. And if next year your mom or grandma or somebody plants some native plants, you'll get even more butterflies. And if you want the monarch butterfly, you'll want to plant the milkweed. Now, this is a lot prettier when it's blooming, those beautiful purple flowers. Right now, this one was at kind of its end, and then it fell down. And it's not just the monarch that uses that. There are lots of other species of bugs that use the monarch plant, the milkweed plant as well. All right, so that is our program for today. Make sure that you go to the library and check out some of these books. I will return them today. So we've got Monarch and Milkweed, a book about metamorphosis of the butterfly. This is a really cool book, talks about a little bit different stuff about the butterfly. Butterfly is patient. There's some other great books. So thank you everybody for joining me today, and hopefully I can see you in person at some point soon. Stay safe out there. Get outside. It's beautiful outside today, and it's going to be beautiful for the next several days. So I encourage you to get outside and look to see what's around you, all right? Like those butterflies. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.